name is George Plimpton. As a writer, I've faced many extraordinary challenges, but few have been as demanding as my stint as goalie for the Boston Bruins. It gave me a true appreciation of the grueling nature of ice hockey. This winter, I talked at length with one of hockey's greatest stars, a man who entered hockey as the game's most heralded newcomer and whose career far exceeded even those high expectations. A man who revolutionized hockey by leading his team's offense while running the defense as well. His name is Bobby Orr. In October of 1978, Bobby Orr was only 30 years old, but 6 knee operations had robbed him of much of his former greatness. He scored only one more goal after this one, and a month later, in a tearful press conference, Bobby said openly what many people already suspected. His knees could no longer stand the strain of playing hockey for a living.
Very happy.
So Bobby Orr retired.
To play a game. I now know for sure that my leg cannot handle playing. If I had to do it all over again, I know I would do it the same way. I'm disappointed, but I am relieved. I would not want to go through the rest of my life thinking, well, maybe there was that chance. I now know I'm no longer able to play.
But when he was able, oh, how he could play. The Bruins number 4 played 9 complete years in the NHL. And in that time, he brought the Bruins from the cellar, the players from the poorhouse, and the puck up past the blue line time and time again. But that's the end of the story. Let's go back to the beginning. Orr, wearing number 2 here, grew up in Parry Sound, Ontario, 150 miles north of Toronto. And by the time he was 12, his amazing ability was spotted by professional scouts. One of those scouts, Hall of Famer Lynn Patrick, insisted that Orr could have played for the Boston Bruins as a 12-year-old. He was that far advanced. Bobby was the most outstanding junior player in the history of the game, and the most heralded. Bruin fans anxiously awaited his arrival in the big time, when their Messiah would lead them out of their accustomed home in the NHL cellar. Rules required him to wait until he was 18 to play pro, so Bobby played junior hockey at least 2 years longer than he needed to. He averaged 35 goals a season in those years while playing defense.
Our 2 guests tonight, our first 2 guests, are a couple of gentlemen who played a little bit of minor hockey, and now they're in Junior A. You've read a great deal about them if you haven't seen them. Bobby Orr was with Oshawa on my immediate left, Wayne Calton with the Marlboros on Mike Farley. Now, what about style of play, Bobby? Have you tried to pattern yourself after anyone, particularly in the National Hockey League?
Well, I like to follow. I play defense myself, and I like to watch all the defensemen. I like to watch Tim Horton for Toronto, and I really think a lot of Terry Harper in Montreal.
Now, why did you decide to choose Boston?
Well, I think that Boston is building their team now, and I'd just like to be a part of their building.
Mm-hmm. What sort of inducements did the Boston Bruin organization offer to get you into their clutches?
They agreed to stuck with my parents' home. This was in '66. They stuck with my parents' home. I think I received a check of $1,000 or $1,200, and they $200 a year clothing allowance. $200. And we were also paid. We were paid $10 a week. You know, they took care of our room and board, tuition, school, and so on. And they gave us $10 a week for spending money.
Does that first game of yours in the NHL come back as like yesterday?
We were playing Detroit Red Wings, and again they had Mr. Howe playing, and I can still remember one play. I threw my pass out, and as I went by, I was watching my pretty pass, and someone came across. I didn't know who it was right away, but it was Mr. Howe, and I think he was trying to let me know that the old fellow was still around. But he hit me a good one. I saw birds for a while.
The team wasn't very good in those days, was it, the Bruins?
Well, the year before I got to Boston, Boston and New York used to fight for the Eastern Starboard Championship, 5th and 6th place. And the year before I got there, the Bruins ended in 5th place. And after my first year, the Bruins ended in 6th place.
He really helped him out.
Actually, Bobby Orr took the NHL by storm. As a rookie, he employed a lawyer to negotiate his contract, an unheard of affront to management, but the Bruins agreed to terms. And the pay structure in the NHL has never been the same since. Bobby's play was even more noteworthy. The 18-year-old was a second-team All-Star as a rookie. Harry Howell won the Norris Trophy that year as the league's best defenseman. And he said, "I'm glad I won it now because it's going to belong to Orr from now on." And while Bobby had to settle for the Rookie of the Year award that season, he went on to win the Norris Trophy the next 8 years in a row. Another hockey first. It was obvious that Bobby would need some help for the Bruins to improve on their dismal record. They needed some beef and some scoring ability on the front line. And they got exactly that when they picked up Phil Esposito in a trade. The Bruins were finally on their way back toward the top of the standings, with Orr manning the point and Esposito doing the bulk of the scoring. Boston fans finally had something to cheer about.
Hold on there now, Bobby.
You will help, George? Well, George, I know
Very low and very slow.
Very slow. I know you do a lot of movies.
What's
You're
that?
a handsome guy. I know you do a lot of movies and you're a handsome guy. Are you sure you don't want a mask?
Well, there are no masks in Southern California.
All right. Now, you've been
So
to
right
the
there,
Bruins.
very low, okay?
Been to the Bruins camp. Seen them do some drills.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to do a little drill here. This is a warm-up drill.
Okay, here we go.
Cheevers taught you. Are you set?
That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever gone through. 4 out of 4. Let's do that again. You can't get 4 in a row again. All right, I'm ready. I'll just practice.
You ready?
All right. I'm not looking behind me.
There's 2 of them. I shot 2 for you.